Hello everyone, so welcome again to the NextTS course, one of the best courses available of NextJS over the YouTube, which is a free course too. And today we're going to talk about creating the underscore app.tsx, which is one of the most important components, which actually overrides the default configuration of the Next.js. And why we would need this? Just remember that this video is sponsored by XT, an amazing company that offers amazing jobs. And let's go to the class. Basically, just remember that each of the classes are divided in each of the branches of the repo. I have the repo, the link of the repo down here in the description, and you can access that. And we are going to talk, as I said, this class about the underscore app.tsx, which is, so let's go to our project and talk a little bit about our component. And basically Next.js, as we said, we are transforming our pages into static pages that are rendered on the server side, and which means that now we need to everything that is going to be shown in the browser, we need to render first in our server side. If we are running the application locally, it will be rendered on our computer and or whatever it is deployed. And basically before rendering, React uses a base component, a default component for rendering all of the other components. And this component we don't need to create because it is default by Next.js, but we can override this component because imagine that we want to inject a configuration. For example, we want to use Redux, or we want to use React query, which is one of the libraries and the packages that we are going to use in the next classes. We need to be able to inject React query in all the static components, because if we won't override the default configuration of Next.js, what will happen is that we will need to inject all this configuration in every single component, and we don't want this because we don't want to keep repeating code and injecting. Imagine, for example, that we have a component called index and another component called the ball. Here, if we go here on the pages, we would need to inject every middleware that we are using inside that. So this doesn't work. Actually, we need to override the configurations. So for overriding this, we just need to go here to pages and create a new file, and this file needs to be named underscore app.tsx. And here is what it is, a simple component, but we just basically we just need to override the configurations. And basically the only thing, if we want to inject something, we are going to inject something in this component, so it will be reflected in all other components. So the first thing that we need to, let's comment here pages dot underscore app.ts tsx, and then we are going to import app from next. Why the next app, which is this guy that we are talking about, the default component that renders all of the other components. And we are going to import React again from the package React, and we are going to define now a class component, which will be class my app, which is the component that is going to override the configurations in Next. It will be extends the app that we have imported from Next, and then we will open the body, the scope of this class, and we are going to create the render method. Remember that if we are using the class component style of React or Next.js from ES6, and we need to create the render function, which will return always a JSX element, like all of the renders of all of the components of React and Next.js. So we just create the body of this function, and we are going to create const component. I will tell just a little bit, and page component. page props, and I will receive this from props. Those props, what are the props? Are the properties that I injected from one component to another based on React in one of the attributes that we have in the React framework that is called composition. And now, so we are going to get the component and the page props, which are the props that are already given by NextJS. And then we are going to just return the component. What is the component? It is the component. It is a static page that we want to build. This is like a generic thing, and we are just need to put the page props using the spread operator. And if you don't know what the spread operator, it basically puts everything that is in the object. You don't need to put all the object itself. So basically that's our component, and of course you need to export default app or my app if you guys want. So that's good. We are good to go. We are not going to inject anything here. This class was just to present this, but in the next class we are going to use this to inject the middlewares and the packages that we are going to use. And now we are going to start working on index, effectively index.tsx. We are going to change this a little bit. So what we are going to create here is import. It is a link. We imported the link component from the NextJS, and what this component means, it means that we are going to, as we are NextJS acts like static pages, we need to use this component to route between pages. Just go, if I want to go from index to about page, I just use this component called a link. We are going to import our layout component, that we used in the last class. Components and layout, great. And then we are going to import, but this time everything as React from the React official package. Then we are going to use the functional component notation. This component will be called app, which is our index component. And of course, as we are using Typescript, we need to deliver, we need to put what is the type of the argument that our function is going to deliver, is going to return. So now we just put return to open the JSX elements. And now what we are going to do is, remember that the layout is our most surrounding component. So we are going to use this as layout. Just put here and enter again. We are going to create again, it will be h1 tag like we did in the next class, but this time is definitely the last time that we create this. I feel you guys are getting like tired of just doing this h1 tag in the next CRUD app or welcome to the NextJS app. But we are going to evolve on this. And here we are going to create a link. We're going to create a link which will have an anchor tag inside that. And here we just need to put here href and put like this. We are not going to create this page, but we are going to use this in the future, which will be a page called customers create. This is a link for entering the page where we are going to create a new customer. We are going to create a new character for our application. And we are going to use the anchor tag of HTML here that it will be named. We are going to put create new customer. Okay, we are good to go. Just one thing that I'm going to do now, it is I'm going to give already a class name attribute. Remember that this class name attribute, it means that we are giving some CSS class to this HTML JSX element or TSX element, and the name of the CSS class that we are going to create in the next class will be create new. We are just putting now because in the next class we can concentrate directly in the CSS itself. So okay, and let's go back to our layout component and also put the CSS here just to get it ready for the next class too. So it will be class name will be container. We are going to create this CSS container class too. So here we won't use much of the things. And now we get back to our index.ts. and we are going to create a new div here, which will be the body of our component, which is where we are going to place the table where we can see all of the customers. So we are going to use the CSS class named table, very simple, and we are going to create an A2 tag, HTML tag that is called customer and data. Great. And then here is where we are going to create our table. We are first going to create the div, which is the class, class name of the header of our table. But as we are not going to create the table now, we are just going to put some dummy thing inside here. And the class name will be header row, and here we are going to use h4 tag, which we are going to put here name, and then here we are going to put h4 tag that will be telephone, and then the last but not least, the class name, which will have the class name named credit card, and the name here inside will be credit card. Great. So if we let me just format everything here, because you know that this formatting tools like YesLink and Preader complains about everything, but that's good. Okay, everything is formatted, everything is okay. Let's he's asking us something. Sorry guys, I wrote this file, it is default, sorry. Now it is formatted. Let's just clean everything and just make sure that everything is good. Okay, everything is beautiful. We just go here to layout is good too. _.app.tsx is good too. You just need to go to npm run dev now to run our application here. Let's wait a little bit, okay, and we can go to our server here. So if we go to the website, we can see that we have a new one here. We have a new component. It is not styled, it doesn't have CSS, but we are going to add CSS in the next class. So everything is okay. Remember that we are using here the normal terminal to just execute plain npm commands, but you can create a new terminal here, and then here you can create a JavaScript debug terminal. And the good thing here is that you can debug your application. You're not going to debug it now, but if you want, this is a very good thing and functionality about VS Code. So thanks a lot, everyone. This was the fourth class about _app.tsx component, which overrides the configuration of NextJS. And see you guys in the next class, which is the class 5, which will be styling our app, which you can find here under the branch class 5, which will be add style to our app. So have a good evening, have a good day, have a good week, everyone, and see you guys in the next class.